Hey guys, welcome back. Right, so continuing on from the last video, we're going to go through these steps. The first one we're going to do will be to set up a developer account on Tapt-In.net. So here we are at Tapt-In.net. The first thing you need to do, obviously, is sign up. Once you've signed up, you can then go on to edit your profile, etc. And the main thing, obviously, to do the video is we can create a developer account. Now, once we create a developer account, we can start producing games for Tapt-In. So we select the Create Developer Account link, and it will take us to this form. So, the first thing we want to do, obviously, is enter our account name, or also will be our developer team name. Mine is obviously going to be Tapt-In. The account password, obviously protected password. I don't think there's any sort of restrictions onto what this password can contain, the length, etc. So we'll create a password and click create. You'll see you can now access your developer account and get your first data key. So you see the developer menu has changed slightly. We no longer have create your developer account, and we no longer have our developer invites. So we want to go to your development team. Here you'll be prompted for your account password, and here we are. Now, on this page, you'll see various things. You'll see you've got a list of your games. We obviously don't have any games set up yet. Game and API stats. There are no, due to being no games, there are no stats. You then have a list of your team members. Now, as the leader of your team, you have the option to change a team role. You can invite new members. You've also then got account management. You change the team name. So if you decide that you don't want your team to be called what it is, you can change it. And providing that you're the only one in the team, you can delete your account. If there are other members in your team, you're not able to delete the account. Okay, so on to our next step. We've set up a developer's account. We now need to set up our first game on Tapt-In.net. We do this by simply clicking set up a new game, and it will ask us for a few details. Game name, in this case, will be, just call it white label, because it's going to be a white label game. And game description, simple enough. So you create your new game. We're then taken to our game overview. You've got your game name, which you can change. You then have your white label, your game data key. This is the key used for accessing your game through the API, and again the key will be used for logging the various stats. You have your description. Now your game URL will be the URL leading to your the transfer login script, which we will look at shortly. So at the moment that we can leave this blank. You can also link it to a local host site for offline development. Right. When you feel your game is up to a suitable level, playable level, then you can put it into our game directory. Now, as explained in the terms of usage, which is over here, it's also in a PDF with the API download. It explains that your game must go through an admin acceptance. Now, this is just basically to make sure that there's nothing dodgy on your site. There's the content on your site will be suitable for everybody. That means obviously no pornographic content, illegal content, discriminative content, etc. If your game is approved by admin, this will then be freed up to select whether you want your game to be listed on the directory or not. Okay, so we've got our game set up, we've got our data key. That means setting up our first game is complete. Then what we need to do is download the API. Now, currently the only API available is version 0.5. It's still in alpha testing at the time of making this video. So you go to the download API and you just click the download now image here. The API will then download. Once it's downloaded, go to your downloads folder, and for the time being we just want to just bring it onto my website, onto my desktop here, and extract it. Now we don't need zip anymore. Right, also here I have my main folder for my website, currently empty, and inside the API file we will find the interface.api.php file. This is the API file that you need to include. You also have a handbook and terms of usage in PDF format, so make sure you give them a read as well. So the first thing we need to do is just create a new folder. Just call it inc for includes, and go into here and just copy over the interface.api.php file. It means we can now obviously include it or require it. So that's downloaded the developer's API. Now, how to use the API to get user details via the porting reference. Okay, this is, it's pretty simple. It's all explained in the handbook. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a new file. And we'll save this for the time being as, I can't find it, white label, and we will just call this index index.php. Okay, so start off with, we need our opening and closing PHP tags. We then want to require, only require it once, the API file that we've just downloaded, and now it's in our inc file. So inc interface.api.php, so that's the file we need to include. So we'll save that, and we'll just come back to here, and when we refresh this page, with any luck we won't get any errors. That's all good. Right, next thing we want to do is we want to declare a new instance of the API class. Now, because we're gathering user information, I'm just going to call the variable user new Tapt-In, and that's calling the class, the new class. The other thing we need to include before anything else is our API key. Now this must be set in the variable key, and again that key was inside of our game. Select it, copy it, go back over to here, and paste it in this key. Right, so I'm just going to end this video here, as it's just gone nearly 12.5 minutes, a bit longer than I expected it to. So just join me in the next video and we'll continue.